So I've been asked, lately, what made me come back or why did I choose to come back or whatever. Um, and the short answer to that is it's nothing personal. It's just personal. Um, I've gone through a lot since I first joined this organization. More specifically, I want to say in the last 10 or 11 years. But when I first started, I was that fireball. I was that one guy that was all over the place trying to do whatever he can. I was always excited and trying to do things and trying to gather everybody and just trying to, fellowship and get stuff done. And, I was a flag bearer. I was all of that. But as my personal life took a turn for the worse, and I do mean for the worst, because there were times where it went straight to hell. Um, the same people that I was hoping that I could count on to be there for me when I bent my back over for them, they weren't there. And unfortunately, some of these same people were people that I called my brothers and my sisters. And when I got to a point where I got really hurt really bad, nobody was there. Nobody supported. Of anything, they did the worst they could. And they went along with the people that were hurting or doing the hurting. So because of that, I just felt like, I was kind of just thrown to the side. And that was cool. That was cool. So just going through everything, whether it be homelessness or whatever, hospital, sickness, I went through all those things. And now I can admit there were times where I didn't even want to live anymore, but there were a couple of people that were constant in my life that were always there through all of that. And one of those main people was Brian Ajay. He was determined. He would not let me just go through this by myself. He wouldn't just let me deal. He wouldn't let me just, suffer or be alone, or he wouldn't let me do that alone. He was determined. And I feel like everybody needs somebody like that, in their life. Because he's always believed in me. He's always encouraged me. He's even empowered me in positions. And I'll forever be grateful for that. You know, he always cared. He always looked out. He would always check on me, whatever the case was. He exemplified brotherhood. Whatever I needed, he would always, do whatever he could to help and support. He's supporting me now, even my nonprofit that I have, that I started. He's just that great of a friend, that great of a brother, that great of a leader, you know. And when I found out that he was running for office, I was determined right then and there. Nobody had to ask me or tell me anything. That was all I needed to hear. I knew right then and there I had to come back. And I felt like there was nothing that I could ever do to, repay him for all that he's done and meant for me. But what I could do is make sure that I could support him in any way that I can, and to make sure that I'm that same brother to someone else that he was for me. I'm determined to make sure that what I went through in this organization, that nobody else has to go through it. And I thank God for everything that he stands for, everything he is as a father, as a husband, as a brother, as a leader. I've seen the true impact that he has, not only in my personal life, but just in our region, the growth, just everything. And I just thank God for what he's done for me personally. And it's because of how he impacted me outside of the brotherhood, outside of all of that, it's enforced me to only come back and be that same thing for someone else. I'm determined to pay it forward. So, Brian, I thank you. And I love you for being there for me, even when I didn't want to be there for myself, even when I got tired of living and didn't want to go on, when I was hurt, and I mean hurt so bad, and just thrown away. You wouldn't let it be. You wouldn't. You always been there, man. And I thank you, and I appreciate you. I love you, man.